Last night, Prime Minister Trudeau's latest foreign policy adventure failed spectacularly. This is the Great White North Report.
Government's more expensive than the last.
Okay, last night, Canada loses its bid for a seat on the UN Security Council. Norway and Ireland win 2-year temporary seats on the powerful security body. Now, Canada, since 2016, has been trying to get on this Security Council, and despite an intense and costly diplomatic push, Canada lost the bid for a coveted seat on the United Nations Security Council. Personally, I couldn't care less. I think it was a waste of bloody time. You need a 2/3 majority to get on this thing, so everyone in the world are ambassadors and vote on this. Norway and Ireland won the 2 available temporary seats with 130 and 128 votes respectively. Canada won 108, falling 20 short. So you need a 2/3 majority to get into the to get elected to the council. Trudeau was banking on this, and Foreign Affairs Minister François-Philippe Champagne have been reaching out to political leaders around the world in a campaign to secure one of the 2 available rotating seats. They even took these UN ambassadors to a Celine Dion concert. Oh boy, kill me now. Trudeau was trying to promote Canadian values of peace, freedom, democracy, and human rights. Again, that doesn't work in the real world. So he's trying to sugarcoat this by saying he listened, learned from other countries, opened new doors for cooperation to address global challenges, and created new partnerships, increase Canada's place in the world. I don't know who he's talking to, because everything I've seen so far has been a complete disaster. Now, Andrew Scheer, Conservative leader, he scathingly said, another foreign affairs failure for Justin Trudeau, keeping the streak alive. He sold out Canada's principles for a personal vanity project and still lost. What a waste. So the claim is the federal government has spent more than $2.3 million on its quest for a seat. It's probably double that. We just won't know when you count in all the airplane tickets, Celine Dion concert tickets, all that other fun stuff. And it's a bloody waste of time. It's just a prestige seat. It means nothing. Not when the big 5, the UK, France, the United States, Russia, and CCP have a veto power on this council. So it's more of a prestige seat. And the fact that you have to spend money to get it, it's basically like the Olympics. You have to bribe people. The last time we tried to bid for one of these was 2010, and the Security Council holds 10 seats for temporary members that join the table for 2-year terms. Now, the NDP Foreign Affairs critic Jack Harris said that Canada's contributions to development assistance, peacekeeping, climate change, and Indigenous rights were likely factors. No, probably what happened was the CCP used its influence to make sure that a lot of countries aligned with it and its choice, and Canada wouldn't be that choice. And also, we generally support Israel, and a lot of Muslim countries don't like that. Support for human rights, yeah, right. Most of the world doesn't support human rights. So why would to vote against every UN resolution upholding Palestinian rights and signing a new arms export agreement with Saudi Arabia, despite their human rights abuses? Really? Like the Palestinians have any really good human rights themselves? Their record's pretty shoddy, especially in the Gaza area. So it's basically a joke, and I wouldn't waste my time on this. So anyone remembers when Trudeau came to power in 2015, he said that Canada is back in its foreign policy moves, because Harper had kind of let that slide. He'd kind of taken a back seat in the world. And Trudeau was saying a compassionate, constructive Canada. Well, it hasn't happened. If anything, we've gone further to the left, yes, depending on which way you look at it. And Trudeau also had to take part in an African Union high-level breakfast dialogue in Ethiopia last February, time when the CCP virus was spreading in China and the fear of a global pandemic, which probably had already came to Canada by then, just to drum up support for Canada's bid for the UN. So again, he had to go fly over there and wine and dine African leaders to get support. So Trudeau's foreign policy has been an absolute failure right from the get-go. He has not had a single win. Hell, we almost went to war with the Philippines over some garbage. The arrest of the Huawei chick angered China to the point where they did something stupid and we never hit back at them. India kicked him out. They got tired of him. Trump has no real use for him. Neither did Obama. This is just a complete waste of time, this UN seat. You know, he launched this back in 2016 with a promise that Canada was back in the UN peacekeeping business. And that wasn't very good either. The Mali mission was just terrible. And the fact we lost Ireland and Norway, model global citizens who outdo Canada on the world stage in the generosity of their foreign aid budgets and peacekeeping in Ireland's case. So it's all linked to peacekeeping and foreign aid. So basically we got to bribe countries with money. Now the Palestinian question has also come. 80 African and Islamic countries have tended to identify strongly with the Palestinian cause, using their UN votes to punish countries they see as taking Israel's side. Of course, they still can't give that up. Israel has been the best thing to happen to the Middle East, actually, when you think about it. It's the most stable country in that area. And the Palestinian question is one the Muslims started themselves. Palestine has never been a country in its own right. It's always been a geographical location or a province of another empire. The West Bank, where the Palestinian Authority has sway now, used to be Jordanian. It was West Jordan. The Jordanians don't want them back. They've kind of signed off on that. So, again, these people are using their own political agendas and hitting back at those who don't agree. Until recently, Canada had made a point of voting against resolutions on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, including those that accord with Canada's own position and laws, to argue that there is an excessive and unhealthy focus on the Jewish state of the UN. And it's true, like, get over it. Israel is there to stay, and they're actually pretty peaceful when you leave them alone, and they do a lot more good. But Trudeau's modified his voting behavior by supporting resolutions on the Palestinians' right to self-determination, and is still firmly in the small pro-Israeli camp at the UN. So here's the list of the largest donors of humanitarian aid, because that's one of the things, foreign aid. You got to buy your way into this UN seat. United States, Germany, UK, European Commission, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Canada. Oh, wow. We're 7th on that list. And the 6th country. Hey, 41 million of that went to the Communist Party of China, too. And here's a look at Canada's foreign aid. Look at how many countries we give foreign aid to. It is unreal. Actually, we gave $6.39 billion in foreign aid in 2019. Every African country got something. Every Middle Eastern Islamic country got something. I don't know what they're thinking. How much more money can we give? I would give absolutely nothing. These people didn't vote. I'd find out who didn't vote for us and cut off their foreign aid. You want foreign aid, you vote for me. And then the peacekeeping thing, like, Canada's military is in desperate need of fixing. Our Navy has been downgraded to just a coastal patrol Navy. Our Air Force is using planes that were great in the 80s and okay in the 90s. Our tanks are secondhand from the Netherlands that were great in the 80s and 90s, but not now. The military needs a lot of things, and peacekeeping missions are not one of them right now. That's just a waste of resources that we need to build up our own naval power back again. Our peacekeeping levels have hit their lowest level in more than 60 years because they don't have the equipment and the tools to do it. And it's been a problem for the last 20 years. We just don't have what it takes to do anything. When it comes to the manpower, the soldiers and sailors and Air Force crewmen, we have great material. It's just that they're not well equipped, and they do a great job with what they have. But you can't run things on a shoestring budget anymore. Pull out the foreign aid and put it in our military. So anyway, I'm glad Canada lost the bid for the UN. I think it was a waste of time. It was a joke. Trudeau is just out of his league. I don't know how the hell he became Prime Minister. Oh, because the girls thought he was cute, maybe? Beats me. His foreign policy has been terrible. His response to the CCP virus has been terrible. He's just not the leader we need in this time. Maybe 20 years ago he would have been right for the job. But right now we need is a tough politician who's not afraid to stand up for what Canada is and what it believes in. So anyway, any Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of the UN Security Council bid. If you're for or against it, and what you realistically expected. Until next time, this is the Great White North Report. I'm out of here.
It's an enterprise of freedom, once they told us.